All right, thank you, everybody. Welcome to 1 Million Cups Chico chapter. Yay! This is always a great way to spend your Wednesday morning to get inspiration for the rest of the week. The 1 Million Cups meetings is a franchised community event that happens across the United States in over 160 cities right now. It's probably more like 170, growing. It's put out by the Kauffman Foundation. It is a completely volunteer organized event, so it's not owned by any one organization like Chico Star. We can't do this without the help from the community. And the idea behind 1 Million Cups is it takes 1 million cups of coffee to get your idea launched and going, and support from the community. So this really is a supportive environment for anybody in the community to share their idea or to share their startup. But most startups that we hear from are less than 5 years old, and to get help from the community, to get feedback. So it's by no way, shape, or form Shark Tank type of thing. So we love celebrating our local startups in our community here in Chico. And the sponsors that put this on are Kent, who does our video and audio. Thank you so much, Kent. Chico Start, the Chamber of Commerce, Danny Schwartz Consulting, Jen with Garden Villa Cafe, who donates our coffee in the venue every single week. Thank you, Jen. And we have a slew of volunteer organizers. Eva has been helping us a lot fill our pipeline. Thank you, Eva. Danny does all our social media marketing. Tim and I do a lot, and Lynn helps do our registration. So thanks, everybody, for helping. If you want to get more involved, there's always fun things to do. We plan other events, great stuff like that. Let's see, what else am I missing? Oh, so there's a very big event coming up that I want you guys to mark on your calendars. October 8th, 9th, and 10th is our very first ever 3-day event celebrating entrepreneurs and our emerging tech culture in Chico. Grow Tech Fest 2019. And there are seriously 3 days of wonderful things to do. The launch event is Tuesday evening at the Big Room at Sierra Nevada. And we will be having a iconic Chico startup panel discussion with Ken Grossman, Colleen from Lulu's, Dan Gonzalez from Fifth Sun, and Dana from Cauliflower,
and Jeff or Jim from Clean Canteen.
Jeff or Michelle from Clean Canteen. So we're going to get to hear about their stories. We're also going to have some startup stories and pitches. We have an investors panel and a lot of fun activities at that event. So I encourage you all to check it out, sign up. If you know anybody who'd be interested in sponsoring, we have sponsorship packages so you can get visibility. We're expecting over 200 people at that initial launch. And then on Wednesday night is another big thing. We're going to be at the Blue Agave Room, and we're going to be listening to lightning talks from a lot of our grow tech companies. So you can see our emerging tech companies and hear their stories, get to meet with them. A lot of students are free, so we want to encourage students to come. It's a community event, so we're really excited about that. And today, for 1 Million Cups, we get to welcome back Results Imagery. And they have already presented about 9 months ago, a year ago. So we're really excited to hear the progress that they've made. So we'd like to welcome Results Imagery. I think you guys need to take this.
Well, good morning, guys. Thanks for being out here, having some coffee with us, and just being here. We appreciate coming back as well. Wish you guys had us back. So the point of today is really we'll talk a little bit about what we do, what we've done, but at the end of the day, we're just looking more for feedback. So we'll kick it off. So for those of you that don't know, Results Imagery was founded between Kyle and I, with kind of my background in e-commerce and his background in media. We both had companies before this in those niches, and we came together and fused Results Imagery. So what we do is we create high quality product, photography and videography for online retailers. So the issue that we saw is there's all these different platforms that people can sell product on. E-commerce is how the world is kind of moving in this wave that we're on. And the one thing that they all need is imagery. They all need really high quality photos to sell. You guys know it if you're on Amazon. You see two different listings. One has good imagery, videos, photos, super nice infographics. The other one's shot with a cell phone. You'll probably buy the nice one. So that's what we set out to solve. Okay, well, there was a video talking about what we do. We don't have access to that right now. So, anyways.
Yeah, so almost a year ago, we were here, and Danny told us that we were the first ones to do a year checkup, so that's cool.
Yes.
We're excited about that. It's really neat. So where we were then, we were just starting to get the ball rolling. We were both full-time. We had our marketing plan kind of in place. It's changed a lot since then. We've gone now through 3 websites. This is our 3rd website that we're actually finally happy with. It's a typical startup story. Building our leadership team, that's changed a little bit now, and really trying to figure out where our digital marketing strategy is. Since it's all e-commerce based, that's where all the eyes are. So we realized that we needed to make sure that our digital representation was correct. So of course, all these things, well, the marketing plan and digital strategy, website, all that's always an ongoing thing with us. But that's kind of where we were a year ago. We were just getting the ball rolling in terms of revenue. We were obviously making enough to pay ourselves and some extra stuff for some marketing play pretty much. So
Yeah, we just set the studio up off of Myers Street, and Kyle and I really just went full time, like a week before our last we pitched back then.
yeah, it was a very exciting time a year ago for us. It was, it was exciting.
Yeah. So as of today, we have 7 people on the payroll. We're about to hire somebody else as well. We are working very heavily with a mentor, Tim Allen, who we have really, really good connections with. He was with Marketfleet, the company I was with before, and we've built an amazing relationship. He's just been an incredible mentor for us. We have some really strong digital marketing strategies in place, like we talked about before. We're heavy in Google advertising, search ads, and Bing advertising, and then remarketing on all different platforms as well. We have some really cool partnerships established with marketing agencies and larger brands. So one of our bread and butter is plugging and playing with marketing agencies and development companies to add and fill in the circle of product media and product videography that they can offer to their client. So in the last year, we've established some really cool partnerships in that realm and continuing to kind of grow that as one of the big kind of retainer parts of our business.
Yeah, just our top line revenue growth is, we're finally starting to see some really good revenue growth and actually seeing some profitability. Luckily, as you can see, we're fairly lean with our expenses. This is the gray, and then our profitability. We're a profitable company. We're in the green, which is awesome, obviously, as a startup, especially in your first year. And we had a really good month last month. But this trend this month will be very similar. These other months were like this. So we're doing good. We're seeing growth. We're growing at a really good rate, which we're excited about. We'll see. Hopefully this stays current. We went to some product trade shows. We went down to Anaheim to Expo West. So it's where all the natural food and natural product companies go. Massive. I think it's like the largest or something. It's huge. My feet were dead by the 3rd day. I was so done. But we got to meet a lot of cool brands. Any big brand you could think of was there. And we were really able to really connect face-to-face, swap business cards, set up some meetings. So that was really cool. And then we went to outdoor retailer in Denver, which is North Face, Patagonia, those type of companies were there. Meet some of our, actually there were other photographers there that we pretty much idolized. So that was cool that we got to talk to them about our business and got feedback from them. So that was really cool. And then just meet, same exact thing, huge, and got to meet some really cool people. But with that one, we were able to also bring an employee too. So that was really cool to bring somebody that can kind of feel the excitement we feel at that. So that's kind of helping kind of go the growth with him. Just like he was mentioning, we're working with pretty established brands, which we'll show you some of the cool brands that we've worked with in the past year. And we're always trying to figure out what are the current trends in e-commerce and how we can offer that as a service in terms of imagery and media. So we also do Amazon listing services. So we do like copywriting, enhanced brand content. So when you go on an Amazon listing, you see like the product description, but some of them have like really high quality graphics and high quality photos in the middle too. We do that stuff and infographics, and we're always thinking about different ways to pretty much get more money flowing through different services. So
some of the top brands we worked with within the last time from last year to today. We've locked all these guys in, and it's been really, really cool. Super fun. All these different shoots have really cool, different lifestyle elements to them. Really fun here, really fun. And so it's been really cool. It's just a lot of fun. So some household names.
Well, yeah, it's cool when the feeling you get when like you're a photographer or a video guy, and it's full transparency, of course, here, right? And like you do all this cool work with these companies, and you're like really happy about it. But then when you get a cool company like 5 Hour Energy hit you up and say, "Hey, your work is amazing, and we want to work with you," that's a good feeling, knowing that you're on the right track, you're going the right direction, and it's a good feeling to yourself, like, oh, okay, I am good at what I do. I am actually like doing something cool, and like people like enjoy it. So these specific companies were really cool to get emails from or phone calls from, because we're like, whoa, GoDaddy just hit us up? That's insane. Like, okay, we're going the right direction. So yeah, is that me? You good? Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's cool. And most of the stuff is what we found too with the larger brands that we work with. They want the full spectrum of everything. So they want photo work and video work and the graphic design stuff. So when they come to us about that, that's exciting too, because we see our eyes widen up, like, oh my gosh, big numbers. So it's cool that they're down for big orders and stuff.
Yes, some of the next steps we're working on here in the very near future is we're launching an online ordering system for photos on white. So if you have a tripod, you can come in and get all the different angles and just press submit, and then the shot list will come to us. So that's coming out pretty soon. We're getting really aggressive with our advertising campaign. We're working with a new company now to help grow that and expand that past what Kyle and I can kind of do in our capacity. Newsletter campaigns, get that going. Haven't really dabbled in that. We're continuing to work these partnerships, the marketing agencies, and get more work out of these big brands we're currently working with. Got a couple trade shows we're looking at going to. Shop Talk in Las Vegas is the biggest one for e-commerce services, so that'll be next year. Building a sales team right now, kind of on the early phases of that, and then we're finally launching an SEO strategy and plan to get some more organic rank and start to pull back our Google AdWords budget or increase it.
So some growing pains. Growing pains aren't always a negative thing, they're a positive things. We have a little bit of everything. We're really trying to work on quality over quantity. We find, like most companies, you find that if you offer a higher quality service, you can charge more money, so we don't have to worry about as many orders. We had a very bad experience with our PPC marketing. Long story short, this guy came to us saying that he did the PPC, like Google AdWords, for our competitor, and he was very convincing. I think he knows what he's doing, but anyways, one of those things where, we'll be onboarded in a month, ended up taking 2 months. We weren't getting results. Anyways, we dumped him, went to another company, which was a great experience, and we really learned a lot from this other thing. So it was good, bad. We spent a lot of money on him, lost money, but good that we had that experience, because we can we knew what to go after and look for with a new service provider. Trying to figure out our agreements and contracts and making sure that we're covered with us. A lot of it comes down to copyright. Who owns the copyright? Does the person purchasing it own it, or do we own it? That's one of the biggest things that always bring the big companies. It's always a big conversation that we have. So we kind of figure out how to do that. I'll continue on the others.
Yeah. So we had some good live and learn experiences with creating a pre-production process. We didn't have a really strict one in place. So we would go out and turn the cameras on, start shooting, and it was nowhere near what they had envisioned. So we had to go back out, we'd waste time and money. So in the last year, we've done that twice, and now that doesn't happen anymore. So that's really cool. One of the things Kyle and I we're learning is how to manage employees and be able to delegate. That's definitely been not a struggle, but it's a learning experience. So working on that, project management, and keeping the pipeline moving and keeping the different softwares in place so that everybody has something to do. I always feel like if somebody's not working at the early phase of where we are today, I'm paying them to sit around. So that's like a big stress for me. So project management software, we're working on that. And then lastly, we have been working so deeply in the business versus on the business and driving the company. So our recent hires, we are working on getting them more involved in working, on the business or in the business and we're working on the business. So that's a new thing. It's something that we're learning and moving through. So yeah, that's pretty much all we got as an update. So kind of Q&A, feedback time.
Can you talk about your leadership team a bit, like who they are and what they do?
Yeah, so Kyle and I, and then we have a CTO, and then aside from that, we have our mentors, kind of like a board member to now. So those are the 4 people that are kind of driving the company right now.
And do you meet with them on a regular basis, or how?
With 3 of them in office, and then we meet. So Clint is not here right now, but he is. We meet regularly. We're in the office every day, and then Tim we meet once a month.
What are you doing for your advertising? You mentioned that.
We're doing a lot of digital advertising, so Google search ads.
Do you do that directly with your phone or do you?
Yeah, Google. Oh yeah, so we're working directly with Google, and now we're working with outsourced with a company.
Like.
Yeah.
I am curious how you knew it was time to hire employees and how you made the decision that it was time to kind of expand your business in that way.
Started pulling our hair out.
Yeah.
We just found that there was just literally too much on our plate. And the first person we hired was someone for video production. So we personally don't have the strongest video production skills. And so we knew that there was higher profit margins in video production, so we need to hire someone for video production. We're just like, okay, we got to hire somebody. And for the most part, it was, then it came to the photography. I was getting way too overloaded. We were getting too overloaded in terms of like, we cannot get this done. So like, okay, now we hire a photographer. Our CTO marketing guy, we've been working with him quite a bit. And finally, that was more of a, he can finally leave what he's doing and come and work for us full time. So it just kind of felt natural. We're just like, okay, this is too much. We can't. This is, because then you start seeing it affect other parts of your business, which it totally did. We're like, oh, okay, we're starting to get not disgruntled clients, but we're starting to get feedback where we know we can perform better services. And it was just because we were just speeding through orders way too fast. In terms of like, sales, me and him are doing all the sales. That's why we're starting to look at hopefully being able to find a salesperson that can really focus on sales and just deal with that. And because we're doing the customer service, the sales, we're doing the operations, we're running the company. We jump into photo shoots, video shoots, pre-production. And so right now we're just trying to put the right people in place so we can just focus on the vision and driving it forward. So it's, of course, a slow process, but I think it's good that a person that is either on the leadership team of a company, or if you're hired on the company, I think you should really know every single avenue of what all the employees are doing and like understand how that process works. So I'm glad that this was such a small startup starting, so we can really know everything. So when we like onboard somebody or they come to us, we understand their pains or their successes. So it's good that we're grinding constantly and learning every part of the company. So.
Let's go. On top of it, we had a couple really good months. With the ability to hire more people, and Kyle and I are thinking how we can grow this thing and actually scale it. And a big chunk of that is Kyle and I are doing day-to-day stuff. We can't actually like focus on the mission. So we have a lot of money and we need people in place. So that was great.
Just to follow up on that, you mentioned one of your stresses is an idle employee. Why not contractors? And especially, I didn't quite understand if people send you products or you go to locations, and maybe contractors would help, in different locations.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So products are shipped to us. Okay. So everything's shipped to our studio. Sometimes on occasion we'll go out to a lifestyle shoot or go out and film something at their place. But we're working with clients around the whole nation. So we're just
you're in one location.
One location, yeah. In terms of contractors for idle work, we have a sour taste in our mouth with our last EPC company. My biggest thing is a lack of communication. And there was a communication barrier where we get that it's a long process with EPC, but we weren't getting anything. There's stuff going wrong, they were dropping the ball. Again, that's not everybody, but I would rather have people in the house. I can really walk and turn my process in.
It's quality control really
So
first.
your videos are mostly of products, obviously. And people shoots it.
We do a lot of lifestyle shooting. We contract all the talent and models. I bring them in. We go out and take them out to locations. Do video production.
We do a lot of regular commercial work too. So there's a lot of companies in town will do their photo and video work as well that has nothing to do with product, or restaurants, businesses, whatever. So we do a lot of that too, which is always fun.
That's kind of a little bit about my question. So have you gotten to a point now where I'm sure you have your ideal customers, and you turn people away? What is your niche for your customer?
Well, we are getting to the point of establishing a minimum order. So
Okay.
we just got to really implement it and figure out that exact number, but we're not taking too small orders anymore just because it is way too much work. You're doing the same exact work for a $300 order as you are for 3,000. It just doesn't add up. And we're noticing a trend where the smaller orders, those are the individuals that expect a lot more. And we're just like, yeah, we're just like, okay. What was the other part? Oh, niche.
Yeah.
I think
We're seeing trends in orders is what we're seeing. So we'll see like blankets. We've done like 5 blanket brands all of a sudden. We've done storage containers. We see that a lot coming in. Food containers and prepping stuff. Yeah. And now we're starting to see a lot more like food products. So like protein bars and protein shakes and all that type of stuff. Jerky and so we see trends, which is turning into, because then when those companies come us, we're like, oh, we have done this type of work, and then the work sells to them. So I wouldn't say it's us really doing the niche, but I think it's more.
It's
just happening. It's trending.
Stuff we might stay away from, like we're learning to kind of stay away from. Apparel is one that we're kind of staying away from. You have a model, and you're like, you don't look how the model looks, or the style of the model, or the style of their brand. It's very hard to sometimes get through.
Companies pay a lot of money for fashion photographers in LA.
And jewelry's tough too.
Yeah, jewelry's tough.
Those two we'll always take the order, but we don't love
Well, it'd be great to get to a point where you could say, this kind of company with this kind of product is going to make us the most money. So these are prioritized areas we focus on.
The outdoor adventure space is our favorite.
Yeah.
So 5 Hour Energy, they came to us through Inbound Lead. They said that they want to showcase and launch new products, and that they want to showcase the masculinity side in the hiking and camping environment. And we're just like, that's perfect. Of all things you can say. Absolutely perfect. So we ended up doing some really cool stuff in Lassen and a bunch of fun. So that was a niche. We do that every time. Yeah.
Have you seen any cycles on seasonality for like different, like Christmas is coming up? Are you going to be ramping up to do extra stuff and get things out? And then how do you adjust your crew, your employees for those cycles?
Super. That's like an awesome question. I don't think we're old enough yet to see like cyclical or seasonal, but in my past life with e-commerce, there is 100% cyclical seasonality. September, October, November, December, we were like this. January, you were at a dead bottom. Nobody buys anything in January. So we're seeing orders pick up as we get retailers starting to prep for Black Friday and the holidays. In July, early July, before July, Amazon has created a new holiday, which is Prime Day. So, sellers are cranking that up. And that's kind of a nice thing for online retailers and service providers. We kind of in the middle of the year, we get a little spike. And then it kind of tails off, comes back. So we're not old enough yet to see it, but there's definitely a nature that we'll find.
My guess December and January is going to be pretty flat for us. I think because that's when companies are really focusing on fulfillment, and they're not even thinking about, oh, we need photos for next quarter. I think they're just more like, oh, we need to get these orders out. Christmas. We'll see.
So my question is around, you guys are focusing more on working on the business now. As you guys mature, how much time have you guys spent kind of architecting the business, the culture? Like, have you written down a lot of that stuff around the vision, the mission, the cultural values, and are you using that to influence new hires and managing your current employees?
So it's funny you say that because we just last month wrote our employee handbook. And through that process, we really wrote down pretty much the vision of the company and how to talk to an employee about that. And we broke down, okay, what type of culture? Culture is huge. We're always talking about and thinking about culture and how we really want to make sure that everyone's, actually wants to be there. They look forward to their paycheck, not their, okay, I got to do this for the paycheck. We want people to be happy there. So we do try to do that on a daily basis, really. We try to figure out that type of stuff. But in terms of like putting a big, I wouldn't say we have a plan in place on how to really move forward with that. I think it's more of one of those scramble organization, like, oh yeah, culture, okay, yeah, let's do this, or let's try to figure this out. So, but the employee handbook was the first step for us. That was huge for us. It was like 35 pages long, and that helped us really understand where we want to go forward with the company in terms of the people there. So, go ahead.
He had his hand up for a really long time, and then I'll ask.
Oh yeah.
No, no, you can.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna be like one.
Okay, so first of all, I love how you guys emphasize that you are trying to do quality over quantity. So, big props there, because, I think it's hard when you first start a business to just not take anything that comes your way, right? The thing I thought was important was that you emphasize that you've learned from your mistakes, which was very key, because a lot of people will act like they were, targeted or a victim. Well, hello, join the crowd, right? And then my question to you is, what approach works? Sorry, I'm trying to read my own handwriting. Okay, what approach do you find works the best for when you have to go out looking for the business? What approach works best for your business? That you've been able to, what approach to, let's say, a new client?
Yeah. I mean, for us, it's for sure we shouldn't, and we're starting to figure how to get away from it. But we rely heavy on AdWords and networking at these the two events we went to. I mean, there's tens of, if not 100,000 people at one of them. It was insane. It's just building relationships. Most of those companies, when we're there, they're getting hit up by salespeople.
Oh, sure.
But we're definitely out of the realm. Usually it's like, oh, check out this software, check out this. And then when we present them as, honestly, the way we are, two chill guys and just talk to them rather than trying to pitch, we've reaped the benefit from those big time.
Yeah, what about trade shows? Similar trade shows?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It's just the big event trade shows that we go to.
Yeah, Google AdWords is really, or just digital advertising through Bing and Google, are very hot leads. So when you're a company looking for product photography, you type in product photography service,
Right.
and we rank. Our ads are starting to populate the first page, but our organic rank has jumped tremendously in the last couple of weeks.
Awesome.
And now we're on page one for some really, really hot key terms.
Okay.
So they email in or call in, they're ready to go. They're looking for that. So
Right.
that's really like a big part of our lead.
So you have somebody working on that. That's part
That's
of it.
kind of
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just hired an SEO company,
just hired an SEO.
like yesterday.
Okay.
So they're going to be taking our SEO strategy for the really high competitive keywords, which is good. So.
I was going to ask something similar about customer acquisition. You covered it nicely there, so I'm going to change my question up. What's the weirdest and the coolest product you had to shoot?
Oh, there we go.
True.
That's cool. I would say the Spa Intimate was pretty weird.
Oh, yeah.
So we had this company here, stuff called Spa Intimates. It was like really weird spa items. They had one where, I don't go to spas, but it's like you literally put it over your head and it has little eyeball holes. And so it was hilarious doing the photo shoot with the model, because we're just like, you literally look like an idiot right now, because you're just like, But that was pretty weird.
That was pretty weird, the knee pad.
Yeah.
That's the same company?
There was a company called Funky Fart, or Frank Fart.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was knee pad holders, but the name was so off. We wanted to pitch them branding services, because we were like, you're not making sense.
Yeah. So for like Olympic athletes, Olympic lifters, their knee pads.
Right.
So when they're sweaty and gross, they created a bag that was for the sweaty knee pads that had like these mesh on the side, and you snap it to your bag. It was for your sweaty knee pads. And it was just really weird shit. Weird niche, but they hit the niche. And the coolest product.
I mean, it's just exciting in terms of cool, like when you see the big brands come to us. But The cool part about like one of the reasons why we started this business too is we keep 90% of the products. People don't want it back; they don't want to pay for it. So we got some pretty cool stuff. I mean, we have at least 50 weighted blankets at the office. We have we got a ton of stuff. So we get to keep the stuff most of the time. So it's really nice.
It will make for really great Christmas presents.
Oh yes, very much so. Yeah, we just did what we called the Great Purge, and we had
Another great
all our area where we keep everything. We were like, okay, everyone, just go for it and take whatever you want. Of course, they only took like a quarter of the stuff, but yeah, it was insane. So that's another thing cool too. When you get cool products. Like we've had really cool like innovative wallets and stuff. And when one of our employees is like, "Can I please have that?" It's kind of a cool perk to be like, "Yeah, of course you can have that." So it's kind of a benefit to work for us.
Yeah.
Did you guys do Summerfest beer? Is that one?
We collaborated with somebody with that. Yeah.
Because you're really helping to tell a story. And there's some great stories out of that. Seems to be the new real good trend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Product, the origin of your product.
Yeah. We're trying to get into the beer industry with breweries and telling their story. So we're about to film, we call it a brand documentary about us video with Secret Trail Brewing.
Oh, good.
And then we're trying to get that. And then
Farmers Brewing.
Farmers Brewing. I think we're kind of cool working with them. So
Great idea.
telling their story.
Yeah, they're killing it on the t-shirts. I just wish they'd hurry up and open I don't drink, but I wish they'd hurry up and open.
Yeah.
Farmers.
Oh, farmers, yeah.
Yeah, farmers. Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the ones in the
So on the topic of new client acquisition, obviously the economy's slowing down. Have you maintained long-term relationships with the brands that you've shown towards like repeat business? And as these relationships become more long-standing, have you had conversations with them to understand how their budgets may change when they're constrained? So when they start strapping down the belts to brace for a recession,
Right.
how is that going to impact you guys and your plans?
Killer questions. Yes, the first one we have.
We have a good chunk of repeat now, which is good.
Yeah. So, for example, we just a brand in SoCal called Pinnacle Brand Group. They're basically like a marketplace, but for shoes. So they create these direct consumer shoe lines. We just finished an order of 345 photos for shoes, just like a bunch of different angles. And they were very happy and they're coming back for more. So 5 hours, same thing. A couple other brands here. So yes, we've locked in these partnerships and relationships. No to the second part of asking them about their budgets.
I was going to ask.
I would be curious how you even bring that up to them on a.
Yeah.
There are a lot of tactical and strategic ways because you don't want to create a sense of alarm.
Right.
Yeah. Person,
That's what
you want to have some clarity for your own budgeting purposes to know, hey, if things do, slow down a bit, we'll maintain a relationship with the customer, but we know how that's going to impact the amount of business we're going to get from them.
So I was going to ask a similar question. I'm sorry I don't have my hand up, but I'll piggyback on it. And that is, to that point, it's more about it's not just the relationships, it's also how do you contractually have the long-term accounts receivable, right? And so those are one of the strategic ways in which to do that, right? Because you can do per project if you want, sure, and then not necessarily know what your pipeline is beyond a couple months, or you could have something that's like with some exclusivity.
Right.
That's another piece, right? First rights to people and whatever.
Yeah, we've been pushing retainers for that reason. Which helps a good chunk of the break even. So, the retainers are huge. We're trying to figure out our strategy on how to bring up retainers. So, I mean, one of the biggest triggers is when someone says, we're looking for a long-term relationship. It's always let's test you first, which I totally get.
Sure.
They want to see if we're the right style.
Right.
But we automatically bring it up to them, like, we also have this retainer program, save you money, it'll build a longer relationship with blah, blah, blah. So, and those clients we're willing to meet up with if we need to fly or whatever, so, yeah.
How do you price your projects? Charging you as a client? It's like it's going to be flat fee, but do you price it per?
Everything's per photo, and then video, we have a minimum order, and then we just move it up from there, depending on exactly what they need.
So it's time-based for the video? Or is it
It's more a complexity. So a 3-minute video is going to be way more complex, but it also might not be either. 3 minutes might just be an interview. where 3 minutes might be 10, 15 different locations, different models. So it comes down to the complexity of how much time is our team going to have to put into this. We take a look at it. We have kind of an average per hour rate that we kind of base things on internally on how to do the video work. But photo work is 100% per photo. So lifestyle and product on white, we have a pricing sheet. People know what it's going to cost them. So
Like, they want a model, the source of model, hand model, extra props, look at different locations.
So you have to work that all out in a proposal?
It's all pre-production stuff before we do any, contracts or anything, just to make sure it's on the same page.
And then if they come back and say, the video wasn't right?
Yep, that is all locked in on the contract, as well as that pre-production process that we've failed on multiple times and we come back to. We make sure the idea is very clear on both parties, contract signed, and then when the camera's off.
we've made it pretty extensive, the pre-production, to make sure that that doesn't happen. I mean, it happened, you do things, you're like, oh, I did this wrong. Like, model's not wearing something that you had specifically said we wanted. That is our fault. We just weren't paying attention. We do free revisions for sure for that type of stuff. But we've had clients too that are like, oh, well, this is really what we wanted. And we're like, well, your photography brief clearly states, and you have an example photo of what you told us you wanted us to create. That's going to cost you more money if you want that.
Do you have any example pictures of the work you've done?
Yeah, we can bring up our website.
Yeah,
so
we
you
have
guys can
time
see
for one
that,
more
yeah.
question. And then if someone has a question, then they can listen.
More on the side.
Out of all the things you did for marketing in the very beginning that got right into those clients, what do you think it was?
It was definitely.
Digital marketing. Yeah.
And with that, sort of being PPC?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah, search ads.
Yeah,
We,
Google and Bing.
Bing has actually been very lucrative for us. When most people don't think that, but we spend a lot less money on Bing and get higher quality leads. So it's very
You're just
interesting.
reinvesting all your profits back in, because it looked like in the beginning you were.
Yeah, into marketing and employees really is where that a lot of the money goes.
And
So
you mentioned you found a new PPC person or SEO?
both. So we found a company that does both
yeah, we fired one yesterday and brought
There you go.
with the due diligence, of course.
Yes, yeah.
Just hire.
So as you guys pull up your website, give us some examples. Can you
know how to do
also
this.
tell us, like, what is your biggest obstacle right now? What do you need the most help with?
So I just click this.
What do you think, biggest obstacle?
I mean, of course, if anyone had any ideas of different ways to grab clients, if there's anything you're doing in your business that you feel like, oh, maybe they should try that.
Is that Ryan?
Yeah, Ryan, he does a lot of our modeling. Handsome guy, Anyway, so I'm just going to slowly scroll. Some sort of product on my, obviously this screen is not.
I mean, one idea that comes to my mind, is going to your current customers that have had a phenomenal experience with you. It all goes back to like NPS scores, right? Like high NPS scores allow you to bring on new clients that are happy. So if you've done a remarkable job for 5 Hour Energy, whoever cut the contract with you probably knows other people in similar positions at other big companies. And getting that warm intro into those other companies can be effective and lucrative. Perhaps slower than your TPC, but perhaps
No, that totally
greater
makes sense.
contract values.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we think that we get a couple of really big players, key brands that we focus, almost turn orders down because we are focusing here and just knock it out of the park, over deliver. 5 Hour, the orders from 40 photos. We ended up doing like 8, just to give everyone got one house and just try to nurture a relationship. And my favorite part of everything is that relationship building. So we're looking at trying to meet some people, really foster and cement that relationship.
I love that you guys have your real faces on those live chats
Yeah.
because I can't tell you how annoying it is to have like the standard
Oh, yeah.
Becky or Karen.
Yeah.
It's like,
Really
So on
you're
our-
not a real person,
Yeah.
it's not you at all.
So on our About page, instead of doing an About video, we did a Meet the Founders video. So we really want people to, we want our clients to know that it's not just some customer service person, like you're actually getting to work with the founders of the company, which is pretty rare these days. You don't get to meet with, leadership people. So,
Do you get some action on this live chat?
oh yeah,
Every day.
every day there's people live chatting with us. It's really fun.
You guys had mentioned you've gone through 3 websites, 3
Yeah.
designs at this point. Why so many? And did you think it was affecting your business in any way, or were you
100%.
just not happy with the
100%.
design?
All conversion based.
Yep.
Oh, really?
All conversion based. Just our CTOs and it's really good background in what is converting people.
Yeah.
It's really an art and a science. Right? Why would somebody click get started? Positioning in the right spot, using the right verbiage is huge. So we've gone through a lot.
If you want to see our website, go on an actual computer. This is not.
This is scaling weird.
This is scaling weird, isn't it? But yeah, and the colors are like really off. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's all conversion based. The first one, I thought I knew what I was doing, and I had no clue. And the second one, we hired some web team in Russia that didn't really do. Yeah, enough said. And then the third one, Clint was just like, let me just do this. I'm like, okay. And then he created.
With the strategic goal of
Yes.
conversion, so almost as like sales funnel.
Right.
I think that could be a helpful question for people getting started. How did you know when it wasn't working? Like, what were the metrics? What was your thought process around, hey, this isn't working, we have to change? What allowed you to arrive at that moment to make that decision?
I think
Well, we have heat maps on our website, and we watch people live. So if you're on our website, we can see everything you're doing every single second. And seeing what they were doing on the website, they were clicking areas on the bottom. So obviously that needs to go towards the top. And
just a good understanding.
yeah, it's just data.
Good understanding of analytics. At least enough to be dangerous, so we know what they're doing, bounce rates, stuff like that. We were looking at that constantly when we launched both V1, V2, and V3. And we've seen huge success in this to get that scale right. So.
And we take a look at some of the larger marketing agency and branding agencies out there and see what they're doing on websites. So companies are working with like Nike and Sprite, those type of companies. We're kind of seeing what they're doing, and we're going for more of the agency approach rather than the photographer. Here's my work. We're not trying to do that. So we're just trying to kind of keep up with, current trends.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, everyone. If your company's needing commercial photography or videography, let us know.
I'm actually going to talk somewhere.
Well, that is a great story, guys. It's so good to see how much you've improved and your financials look really good too. Are you paying yourselves?
We are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had our first big pay raise last month, so we were stoked on that. That was very important.
Well, thanks everybody for coming on Mini Cups. We have coffee. Feel free to mingle, get to know your neighbors. Thanks to our sponsors, Chica Start, Garden Villa Cafe, Chamber of Commerce, Kent. Kent doesn't have a name for what he does. It's just amazing.
And these things can be specialities.
And to all of our volunteer organizers, and once again, please bring your friends next Wednesday. We have our calendar is booked going forward, so we always have good things happening every Wednesday morning, 9 o'clock. Please bring your friends. Anybody who's interested in pitching, it doesn't even need to be, it just needs to be an idea. And we have coaches to help them work through the 6-minute pitch. So please get them in touch with, you can go to our 1 Million Plus website and they can apply online. That's the way to do
Our
that.
next opening is not till September 25th, and then, so we have, September 25th is the next one that needs to be filled.
Great. And once again, October 8th, 9th, and 10th, Road Tech Fest 2019.
Pretty much.
We're really excited about it. It's going to be so fun. It's going to be completely different than anything you see in Chico. We actually have one of our sponsors with us in the audience today, Ray Block and Golden Valley Bank. Across the way, so nice. Make sure you meet Ray, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week.
And we're gonna plug that event incessantly.
Darn,
That's right.